Wow, your reputation precedes you.
I didn't know your household name was.
Coloma issued them a warning.
Yeah.
Are we ready in the back? Video and audio and... Yeah, we're ready?
No, it's not gonna.
All right.
Keep it there, not your problem.
All right, here we go, ladies and germs. It's match number 2 tonight. Welcome to Academic Challenge. My name is Jim Gifford, your host and moderator, and today we feature teams from Bangor and St. Joe. WSJM's Academic Challenge features scholastic competition involving high schools from Berrien and Van Buren counties and is sponsored by Waterville Public Schools, Lake Michigan College, Lakeshore Public Schools, and by Chemical Bank. And we will meet the teams first from St. Joe.
Trevor Greisinger, senior.
Peter Kim, also senior.
Ryan Faulkner, junior.
Trevor, did you bring anybody of consequence with you tonight?
No, Mr. Eder, our coach, is gone.
All right. The inconsequentials are in the audience.
Correct.
From Bangor.
Zeppelin Torres, senior.
Alonzo Garcia, sophomore. Anders Mortensen, sophomore.
Michaela Lake, junior.
Zeppelin, your coach is...
Phil Devers.
Welcome, one and all. Here are the basic
Another
rules.
Buckeye.
During the first and second halves, we'll announce the value of each question before it's asked. You'll have 10 seconds to answer, 15 if it's a math question. When you press your button, please wait to be recognized. No consultation allowed. I'll be your scorekeeper and co-judge tonight. Bill Klein's the other co-judge, and we'll be asking the questions. Is everybody ready? Mm-hmm. Here we go. Bill, whenever you are ready, let's get started.
For 5 points, if a mayor arranges the award of contracts for the construction of a local bridge at a price much higher than the actual cost, with the understanding that he will receive a part of the contract money, that portion is called what?
Zeppelin, Bangor.
A bribe.
Incorrect.
St. Joe, 5 seconds. Time.
It was a kickback. For 10 points, PB, capital P, small b, is the symbol for lead.
Ryan, St. Joe.
82.
Incorrect.
Finish the question.
Capital P, small t, is the symbol for what element?
Bangor. Zeppelin.
Plutonium.
Platinum. Oh. A math question. For 10 points, if you owned 300 shares of stock in the Acme Company and received $180 in dividends per year, and I owned 450 shares in the same company, what would my dividends accrue to in a year?
Trevor, St. Joe.
$270.
That is correct for 10 points. For 15 points, when Joseph was sold as a slave into Egypt, the captain of the Pharaoh's guard made him ruler of his house. Later, the captain's wife spoke evil words about Joseph and had him thrown into prison. Who was this officer?
Time.
Potiphar. For 15 points, Texas is the leading oil producer in the contiguous United States. What is the leading oil producer among the Canadian provinces?
Trevor, St. Joe.
Montreal.
Incorrect.
Bangor, 5 seconds. Zeppelin.
Alberta.
That is correct answer for 15 points. For 10 points, which popular gospel hymn begins, "On a hill far away"?
Trevor, St. Joe.
Calvary.
Incorrect.
Bangor, 5 seconds. Time.
The Old Rugged Cross. For 15 points, what animal is described by the double basses in the Carnival of the Animals by Camille Saint-Saëns?
Trevor, St. Joe.
The elephant.
That is correct for 15 points. For 20 points, This Peruvian city is the oldest continuously inhabited city in the Western Hemisphere. Built by a people whose culture no longer exists, it is located in the Andes. Name the city.
Trevor, St. Joe.
Machu Picchu.
Incorrect.
Bangor, 5 seconds. Time.
Cusco. Now it's a store. Oh, no, that's Costco. Sorry. For a math question for 15 points. Factor x to the fourth power minus 16 completely.
Trevor, St. Joe.
Quantity x squared plus 4 times quantity x plus 2 times quantity x minus 2.
That's the correct answer. The answer is longer than the question. For 15 points. For 5 points, sunspots are the most easily observed marks on the sun. Is the central part of a sunspot called the prominence, umbra, corona, or penumbra?
Trevor, St. Joe.
The prominence.
Incorrect.
And Bangor, 5 seconds. Zeppelin.
The Umbra.
That is correct for 5 points. For 10 points, he was the son of Edward III of England. As the Prince of Wales, he distinguished himself on the battlefield as virtually invincible. By what colorful name was he known by his admirers?
Time.
The Black Prince. For 5 points, who was Mary Tudor's more famous sister?
Ryan, St. Joe.
Elizabeth
Need more specific.
the first.
Correct answer for 5 points. For 15 points, in each of his plays, his concern was not only to make people laugh, but also to make them think. In each play, he ridicules some fashionable absurdity and makes laughable some human weaknesses or person. One of his works is Les Femmes Savantes. Name him.
Trevor, St. Joe.
Proust.
Incorrect answer.
Bangor, 5 seconds. Time.
Moliere. He also did Tartuffe. I played Tartuffe. So. For 20 points, I just had to throw that in. Who was the haughty beauty adopted by Miss Havisham in Great Expectations?
Time.
Estella. For 5 points, Essen is located in Germany. In which European country is Essex?
Trevor, St. Joe.
England.
That is correct for 5 points. For 10 points, give me the popular name of the Veterans Benefits Measure passed by Congress in 1944.
Trevor, St. Joe.
The VA bill.
Incorrect.
Bangor, 5 seconds. Time.
The GI Bill of Rights. For 15 points, 323 is the product of what two prime numbers? This is math, so give me a moment.
Time.
17 and 19. For 15 points, AIDS, AIDS, is acquired immune deficiency syndrome. For what does the acronym SIDS stand in pediatric medicine?
Trevor, St. Joe.
Sudden infant death syndrome.
That is a correct answer for 15 points. For 20 points, Name any one of the 3 volumes history, or any one of the volumes in the 3-volume history of the Army of the Potomac during the Civil War written by Bruce Catton. So we name any one of the 3 volumes.
Trevor, St. Joe.
March to Atlanta.
Incorrect.
Bangor, 5 seconds. Time.
He was my hero. I read all of these. Mr. Lincoln's Army, Glory Road, the bloody route from Fredericksburg to Gettysburg, and a stillness at Appomattox. For 5 points, what grows in Flanders Field in a famous poem?
Michaela, Bangor.
Red ferns.
Incorrect.
St. Joe. Trevor.
Tulips.
Poppies. For 5 points, the Jefferson, the Madison, and the Gallatin were the 3 names given by Lewis and Clark to the 3 forks they encountered in what river?
Peter, St. Joe.
The Colorado.
Incorrect.
Bangor, 5 seconds. Michaela.
The Mississippi.
Incorrect. It was the Missouri. For
And
10 points.
This next question will be the final question of the first half.
For 10 points, in which quadrant is the tangent negative and the cosine positive?
Zeppelin, Bangor.
Quadrant 3.
Incorrect.
St. Joe, 5 seconds. Trevor.
The second quadrant.
It was the 4th.
That will wrap up the first half of today's Academic Challenge match. We'll be back with the score and the 60-second round after this on WSJM, the news and talk of Michigan's Great Southwest. So we have a participant.
So these are the choices for the 60-second round, where you get 60 seconds to answer 10 questions in one of these categories. So which one do you guys think? Rhyme, characters, or YAN?
Yeah. I would.
There's also Labors of Hercules.
I don't know those that well.
Erickson.
Not that I'd help
Well,
you.
It's E. Well,
Names the same. That could be really hard.
the authors are
Or do you want
I
to?
think Ryan.
Or do you want to go?
You feel strong about literature?
Yeah.
Oh, these are the options. Yeah.
Names. All right. Let's go YOLO. Go take characters.
make a list of
It could be a name in itself. What?
What is the name
Could be a
of the
first
same
name, yeah.
category?
I'm like, what if we just went YOLO?
Like, what's the
what?
description? What's the description for the names the same category?
Okay. Bangor, there's been a question of what's the name category, what does it mean? I'm going to read you the heading that I have on the sheet here. Many words in our language have multiple meanings. I supply you with at least 2 meanings for a word. You tell me what word is being described.
You good?
That makes sense.
All right, everybody ready? Yeah, let's come back then.
Yeah.
Here we go. At the end of the first half, the score, St. Joe 65, Bangor 20. And we move on to the 60-second round. Teams, you'll have 3 categories to choose from. We give you 60 seconds to answer as many of the 10 questions as you can. Each is worth 10 points. There's a 20-point bonus if you answer all 10 within the time limit. You are encouraged to consult with one another at this point. The answers, though, must come from the team captain, and you can and should pass if you don't know the answer. After the minute's up, the opposing team will have a chance to answer the ones you missed or the ones we did not get to. And at this point, Bangor, you are trailing, so you have the first choice of these categories. They are the name's the same, 10 characters in search of an author, and Labors of Hercules. What are we doing?
Name's the same.
The name is the same is the category we choose. Bill will set it up for you, and I'll start the timer when we start the questions.
Okay. Many words in our language have multiple meanings. I will supply you with at least 2 meanings for a word, and you tell me the word being described. First one. It is used in a sport and also names a flying mammal.
A bat.
Correct. It is a measure of length and also characterizes a conference of teams in a sport.
Pass.
It is one. It is what one might elect to do to a motion or topic according to Robert's Rules of Order, or it describes a piece of furniture.
Pass.
The name's the same. The ancestress of Sirmic gods, a British professor, or to put on clothes.
Pass.
It could be a bird, an insect, or a contest for scholars.
Pass.
What word in various spellings can refer to dervishes, a machine that presses cloth between rollers, and a system for dividing and measuring civil time that can be Julian or Gregorian?
A calendar.
It's correct.
2 correct for Bangor for a total of 20 points on that one. We will turn it now over to St. Joe. We'll reset the clock, and we'll go back to the ones that were missed and go beyond to the ones we didn't get to for as long as 60 seconds lasts. Bill, whenever you're ready.
Okay. It is a measure of length. It also characterizes a conference of teams in a sport.
League.
Correct. It is what one might elect to
Table.
do to a.
Table.
That's correct. The name's the same. The ancestress of Sirmic gods, a British professor, or to put on clothes.
Dean.
Incorrect. It's Don. It could be a bird, an insect, or a contest for scholars.
A bee.
It's correct. To a student, it means to strain in mental effort. In a billiard parlor, it is a triangular frame used on a pool table. What's the word?
The triangle.
Incorrect. It's a rack. It can mean a person who is an expert in his field, a serve one's opponent fails to return, and a playing card. What's the word?
Ace.
Correct. What man's name is a Berlin checkpoint, a U.S. Army slang for the Viet Cong, or a derisive black term for whites?
Charlie.
Correct.
That wraps it up. Was that 4 or 5?
5.
5 correct for 50 points for St. Joe. And we'll stay with St. Joe now. You choose the second of the 3 categories. The 2 left are 10 characters in search of an author or labors of Hercules. What's your choice, St. Joe?
We'll do 10 characters in search of an author.
Thank you.
10 right then.
10 characters in search of an author. I find the author for each of these characters. Right? Martin Aerosmith.
Dickens.
Incorrect. Ethan Frome.
Twain.
Incorrect. Horatio Hornblower.
Dickens.
Incorrect. Silas Lapham.
No answer.
Daisy Miller.
Gatsby. Or Fitzgerald.
Incorrect. George Apley.
Dickens.
Philip Nolan.
No answer.
Bartleby the Scrivener.
Dickens.
Correct. Mr. Bumble.
Dickens.
Correct.
Well, I got 1 right out of that. Does that sound about right to you, Bill?
Yeah.
1 correct.
Whoa.
Dickens hits home at the end for 10 points. Let's turn it over to Bangor now. We'll reset the clock, and we'll go with another 60 seconds. And from the top, Bill,
Find the author.
Bangor, are you ready? Here we go.
Find the author for each of these characters. Martin Aerosmith.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Incorrect. Sinclair Lewis. Ethan Frome.
Frost.
Edith Wharton. Horatio Hornblower.
Ulysses.
C.S. Forrester. Silas Lapham.
Homer.
William Dean Howells. Daisy Miller.
Fitzgerald.
Henry James. George Apley.
Don't know.
John P. Marquand. I don't know him either. Philip Nolan.
Frost.
Edward Everett Hale. Bartleby the Scribner.
J.K. Rowling.
Melville. And Hercule Poirot. What? Hercule Poirot.
Michael Bay.
Agatha Christie. That was the only one I know.
Bit of a goose egg there for Bangor on a tough category. That'll wrap up the 62nd round. We'll check the scores and conclude the game next here on WSJM, the news and talk of Michigan's Great Southwest.
Your labors of Hercules, you would have just had 10 guests to guess all of the 12 labors.
Are you serious?
That's the category. Whoa. All I knew was there something had to do with a boar.
Stables, the lion, the boar.
Yeah, that was. I knew the boar and the lion. Yeah. But you had to be specific. It wasn't just a lion. It had to be a Nebian lion. Yeah, I don't know who comes up with these categories. Well, that one about the author, I didn't know anything until we got to Agatha Christie.
Yeah.
I did know C.S. Forrester. I didn't know him, right? Because I'm a
I was drawing
Hornblower.
consistent blanks on that one. What was that, the Scribner? Who the hell was that?
yeah, Bartleby the Scrivener. I have no
Bartleby
idea. who that is.
Bartleby the Scribner? What the?
Bartleby the Scrivener. I have no idea. Do you know what play it was from, or what?
No, I couldn't figure it out. I got the first four.
James Earl Jones.
Great New York.
All right, let's bring her back here and find out a little bit about what's going on at your schools and so on and so forth. Are we ready? Here we go. The score at the end of the 62nd round, St. Joe 125, Bangor 40. It's time now to find out what's happening at each of our participating schools, and let's start this time with St. Joe. Trevor?
Hello from St. Joseph High School. We're in the midst of exams right now, and we have half days the next 3 days to prepare for them. Our mock trial team is practicing for the regional tournament in Grand Rapids in March, and our swim team has a meet this Saturday. We would like to thank our sponsors, and here's to you, Bangor.
Wow. Let's hear from Bangor. Here's Captain Zeppelin.
Greetings from Bangor High School. We just survived a grueling week of finals after a week with 4 snow days. The second semester has begun, and now everyone is getting used to their new schedules. This week, everyone participated in the Compassion Project, an anti-bullying program to promote diversity, tolerance, appreciation, and acceptance through a variety of games, team-building activities, and presentations. Winter sports are in full swing, and a full week of Winterfest activities are scheduled beginning February 2nd. We'd like to recognize the competitive cheer team as being ranked in the top 10 in the state in Division 4. Next Friday, January 30th, will be a formal goodbye to our longtime principal and Quiz Bowl supporter, Mr. Melvin, who retired in August. Everyone is encouraged to come out to the game against Bloomingdale to honor his many years of service to Bangor and wear a silly tie like he always does so well. We would like to thank WSJM and all our sponsors of Academic Challenge for giving us this opportunity.
Thank you, Zeppelin. We have no substitutions here for the second half, so let's jump right in.
We have a new member, though.
Right. Oh, yeah. Well, he kind of snuck in the middle, so identify yourself there on the end there, sir.
Ryan Erickson.
Ryan Erickson from St. Joe joins the team here, so let's complete it with the second half. Bill, whenever you are ready.
For 5 points, if you took a trip from India to Australia, you would cross what ocean?
Ryan F. from St. Joe.
The Indian.
That is correct for 5 points.
Right into your mic there, buddy, when you do that. Thank you. How much?
For 5 points.
Okay.
For another 5 points, the field of eugenics lost popularity after the extreme techniques practiced by what political party?
Trevor, St. Joe.
The Nazis.
That's correct for 5 points. For 15 points, the ingredients are 1 part French vermouth, 3 to 6 parts gin, spray from lemon peel, and pitted green olive. What's the drink?
Zeppelin, Bangor.
A martini.
That's correct. And why do you know that?
James Bond. James Bond. Lots of James Bond.
For 20 points, sectarian warfare has been going on in Northern Ireland since the 1600s, when Britain's King James I took what action?
Trevor, St. Joe.
He annexed the northern part of Ireland.
Incorrect.
Bangor, a shot at it. 5 seconds. Zeppelin.
He invaded Ireland.
Incorrect. He sent Protestant settlers to a Catholic Ireland. A math question for 5 points. If 9x plus 5 equals 23, what is the numerical value of 18x plus 5?
Peter, St. Joe.
41.
That is correct for 5 points. For 15 points, the Bible has given us colorful words such as Leviathan and Behemoth, which are descriptive of huge, monstrous creatures. What similar word did Francois Rabelais, the French author, give us?
Zeppelin, Bangor.
Dinosaur.
Incorrect.
St. Joe, 5 seconds. Trevor.
Gargantua.
That is a correct answer for 15 points. We also would have said gargantuan or pantagruel.
What?
For 20 points, I have no idea what a pantagruel is. It's probably some big monster. It's probably somebody from Ohio State, big quarterback. For 20 points, what Pulitzer Prize winning play and Broadway musical was based on Green Grow the Lilacs?
Trevor, St. Joe.
Cats.
Incorrect.
Bangor, 5 seconds. Zeppelin.
Les Mis.
Oklahoma, which you can see this summer down at the pier. So, for 5 points, what were the women campaigning for women's rights during the 1920s called?
Anders, Bangor.
Suffragettes.
That is a correct answer for 5 points. For 5 points, it is a word used before a noun or pronoun to show its relationship to some other word in a sentence. What part of speech have I just defined?
Trevor, St. Joe.
Antecedent.
Incorrect.
Bangor, 5 seconds. Michaela.
Adjective.
Preposition. For 10 points, what drafting instrument is made of thin wood or plastic with edges shaped to help curve drawing?
Ryan F. St. Joe.
French curve.
That is correct for 10 points. For 20 points, a math question. Through how many degrees does the minute hand of a clock move in 25 minutes?
Trevor, St. Joe.
150 degrees.
That is a correct answer for 20 points. For 10 points, what adjective with 3 A's means rural or agricultural, pertaining?
Trevor, St. Joe.
Agrarian.
That is correct for 10 points. For 10 points, which room of the White House hosted President Nixon's daughter's wedding reception, as well as his farewell to his staff? Which room of the White House?
Trevor, St. Joe.
The Roosevelt Room.
Incorrect.
Bangor, 5 seconds. Zeppelin.
The Oval Office.
Incorrect. It was the East Room. For 5 points, in which parable does Jesus tell about a spendthrift who returns home? His father treats him with compassion, which angers his brother.
Trevor, St. Joe.
The parable of the prodigal son.
It's correct for 5 points. For 10 points, these Slavic creatures enjoy sending storms down on solitary travelers. Name these nymphs that appear in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire as lovely fans of the Bulgarian team in the Quidditch World Cup.
Peter, St. Joe.
Sirens.
Incorrect.
Bangor, 5 seconds. Time.
The Vilas. For 10 points, a 2004 trade of Shaquille O'Neal from the LA Lakers to the Miami Heat was called the biggest NBA trade in almost 30 years. It wasn't that big a deal when what franchise traded O'Neal to the Lakers in 1996?
Zeppelin, Bangor.
The Orlando Magic.
That is a correct answer for 10 points. For 10 points, which planet has yet to complete one revolution of the sun since it was discovered in the mid-19th century?
Peter, St. Joe.
Uranus.
Incorrect.
Bangor, 5 seconds. Zeppelin.
Pluto.
Neptune. For 5 points, having its etymology, perhaps in Hindu belief, and associated with sportscaster Harry Carey, what two-word expression of surprise literally means divine bovine?
Ryan F., St. Joe.
Holy cow.
That is correct answer for 5 points. A math question for 15 points. What is the least common multiple of 20 and 36?
Trevor, St. Joe.
180.
That is a correct answer for 15 points. For 5 points, give me the alliterative two-word term for actions by one's own forces causing casualties to one's own troops.
Peter, St. Joe.
Friendly fire.
That is correct for 5 points. For 5 points, the yellow part of a bird's egg is the yolk. What's the white part called?
Ryan F., St. Joe.
The albumin.
That is a correct answer for 5 points. For 15 points, what's the name given to Gulliver by the Lilliputans?
Time.
A man mountain. For 10 points, what is the crop that covers most of the world's arable land more than any other crop?
Trevor, St. Joe.
Rice.
Incorrect.
Bangor, 5 seconds. Zeppelin.
Corn.
Wheat. For 10 points, an earthquake with a measured magnitude of 8 is how much stronger than a quake measuring 7 on the Richter scale?
Ryan F., St. Joe.
10.
That is a correct answer for 10 points. For 20 points, Baal was the name of the god most commonly worshipped by Israel's neighbors in Old Testament times. What goddess was the most popular?
Orion, St. Joe.
Isis.
I'm sorry?
Isis.
Incorrect.
Bangor, 5 seconds. And that's time.
It was Ashtaroth, Astarte, or Ishtar.
Of course it was.
Of
Next
course.
question, last question of the second half.
For 10 points, in 1776, Adam Smith published The Wealth of Nations. In the same year, Edward Gibbon began writing his epic work. Its title?
Trevor, St. Joe.
The history of the decline and fall of the Roman Empire.
That is a correct answer for 10 points.
That, folks, wraps up
That
today's
was good.
academic challenge match. We'll tabulate the scores and announce the winners after this on WSJM, the news and talk of Michigan's Great Southwest.
Good games. Good games. It's Nice to see a bunch of bright
This is you got more questions than Chris before, so.
I should have just sent out.
Ryan, we were laughing at the prodigal son one because when you walked in, Peter goes, "Here comes the prodigal son." And then I missed it. Did you get it? Yeah, I tried it. I love that gargantua. Swing around, gargantua. I got the Neptune roll. No, I was trying to be tricky. So I didn't swing around, gargantua. Trevor saved. What about? Oh yeah. What did we just go play as the ask you? Yeah, there you go. I played a game this time. Maybe 4. I just think to one race victory. They got that
Don't name
industrial
that.
race.
Oh, now I know who he is.
Okay.
He was on the ship. Be quiet.
Oh, okay. All right. There you go. You're right. All right, here we go. Here we go, folks. Let's wrap it up. We are back on WSJM's Academic Challenge to announce today's winner and thank our sponsors and the winners by a score of 250 to 70. The team from St. Joe. How about a nice hand for St. Joe? Congratulations. Thank you all for joining us on WSJM's Academic Challenge, brought to you by Lakeshore Public Schools, Lake Michigan College, Waterville Public Schools, and by Chemical Bank. And we hope you'll join us next time when Berrien Springs and Bridgman go head-to-head on Academic Challenge.
Good job.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you.
Well done.
Good job.
Well done.